Base. The final frontier. These Kermen have been tasked with one mission in mind: to explore the vast known universe around their solar system and potentially survive.
I say potentially because we're probably going to end up killing a few of these poor little fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kerbal Space Program. This game has been out for a while now, that's for sure. And it is a massive fan favorite. And I've never played it correct or properly much at all. So I own this one, and I own Kerbal Space Program 2, which we might check out down the track as well. Now, KPS 2 is only in early access. It doesn't have a career mode and all that sort of stuff. It's only in a sandbox variety version. So I thought, what better way to get into Kerbal Space Program than to learn on the original game and give you guys some content on it. Now, we might do this in some upcoming streams as well, so we'll check that out down the track doing that. We've got plenty of playthroughs and stuff going through at the moment, so it might be a little bit disjointed lately as we do have a lot of content. However, being injured at the moment, I was set to do some live streaming this weekend, but I re-injured my foot and have been really struggling, so I wanted to get some content out to you guys because the next live stream we're doing will be some more Sons of the Forest and Transport Fever 2, so stay tuned for that. But I thought, you know what? Let's have a go at this today. Let's bring the people something a bit fresh, a bit new, and look, I'm learning, and if you're learning, then we can learn together. And if you're not learning and you know how to play the game, then definitely leave your tips, comments, tricks, hints, and everything else in the comments section below, because I'm happy to hear them and happy to see them. Now, I have watched a couple of little tutorials on how to get started. We'll start a new one here, and what we kind of need to do, we're going to call this Space Ham. Trek? Space Ham Trek. Okay, I've actually put a banner in for us. We've got a few options for our own banner. We've got this one up here, Space Ham. We're probably going to use this one now. I've got a couple of options just here we can use for flags and banners for our thing. We're going to go with this one for a bit. We can mix it up a little bit later. We can maybe even get Hank in there, which would be kind of cool. We're going to go with that one, except in career mode, you have to manage all aspects of your space program. Funds, reputation, and science are all active. And contracts are available at mission control. Okay, so let's kick off things here by going start. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Here we are. Here is our facility. It's pretty bare bones at the moment. When you see you do upgrades and stuff, these become quite big, all these facilities. We've got our vehicle assembly building here. We've got our space hangar here where we can build our aircraft, and this is for rockets sort of construction. We've got astronaut complex here where we can hire and fire new Kerbals when we potentially lose some. We've got the administration building here. We've got tracking station here for when they're out in orbit. We need to track certain space people. We've got the launch pad out here, which is pretty bare bones, and mission control. Mission control's a pretty little building, isn't it? So welcome to space. Welcome to the Space Planet Center. Nice to meet you. I'm Gene Kerman, I think named after the Apollo. Is it the Apollo 17 Gene Kerman? The Sermon, I think his name is spelled with a C. I forget. Anyway, this space center is here. From here, you can manage all aspects of the space program. Feel free to have a look around, hold the right mouse, blah-de-da-de-da. Yep, we get it, we get it, we get it. If you need more info, check out the training section on the main menu. Thanks. I've got it, Gene. We'll take it from here. Right, so we've got 25 Kerbal bucks in the bank. We've got no science up here. Now, science is what we use to unlock, if we go research and development, all these fantastic things all the way down this arc tree to open up more and more as we go down, right? Lots to do. And this is the stuff that's not implemented in KPS 2 at the moment, so it's why we're going to learn on KPS 1 before we get into KPS 2. Okay, so we've got to do some research and stuff. We've got to get some science built up, and we do that simply by going to build a rocket and using our scientists and our pilots and our other crazy Kerbal space people to do that for us, right? So we'll head into here anyway. I don't think we can do much in the admin building at the moment, but we've got Mortimer Kerman, he's in charge of finances. Linus Kerman, looks after our science department. Walt Kerman is our public relations, and Gus is our operations manager, okay? And here we've got things like bailout grants, research rights, sellout, stuff like that, right? Not much we can do here at the moment, so we're not going to worry about that. We're going to head back over to here, check out the astronaut complex. These are the astronauts that we have available to start with. We have Jebediah, he's a pilot. We've got Bill, he's an engineer. Bob is a scientist, and Valentina is our pilot as well. So we've got 2 pilots. Excellent. Egg salad, right? And then we've got all these ones over here. Now they've got no stars, so they've got not much experience. Right, so we have to try and level them up and not kill them. But yeah, if we need to hire some more, we can hire some more down here. Okay, very groovy stuff. Let's go out and check our that's the space hangar. Mission control. Right, Gene Kerman, welcome to mission control. Please make a selection. Right, gather scientific data from Kerbal. That's probably what we're going to do. We've got 3 days, 5 hours to do that. So at Kerbal World First Records, keeping society, we need to brave Kerbals with the right stuff to help achieve our dreams. Sorry if the music's really loud. It's really loud in my ears. I might turn it down just a touch. We still have unchecked items on our list of records to break, and would like to change that, but really there's no sense in us still talking while there's science to be done. Shall we get into it? Give us a quick crew report before launching. It's fine if any of the lights on the control panel are flashing. Just give it a swift kick. Okay, lovely. Love the little bits of humor they'll have in here. We've got launch our first vessel, escape the atmosphere, and orbit Kerbal. Okay, these are our first available sort of missions that we've got. We've got nothing active, and we've got the archives here. So we're going to get this one first, okay? Let's take that one. Right, so we've got, we'll take that. So you can see here, active, the active missions. Gather science data from Kerbal. Right, we're going to do a little bit more than what they want. Objective, recover or transmit any science experiment data from Kerbal to achieve this goal. Right, okay, cool. Let's go have a look at our vehicle assembly yard down here. At the vehicle assembly yard. Right, so this is welcome to the vehicle assembly building. Hello, I'm Werner von Kerman, chief rocketry engineer. This is the vehicle assembly building where we will build spacecraft and later roll them out to the launch pad right out there. Okay, right out there, roll them out. As you can see, we are the bare bones of bare bones here. Look at all our little Kerbals doing some work down here. On your left, you'll find the compartments to construct your own spacecraft. Select the starting part, then attach 2 others to it to build a ship. You can have a look at them around with the right mouse button or the arrow keys. That's it really, as far as rockets. Anyhow, if you need more in-depth explanation on how to build, have a look at the training section at the menu. I had a little look at those, so we'll see what we get into right now. So this is all our building components so far that we've got unlocked, right? We don't have a lot. I've got to be honest, we actually have the bare minimum. We are today, however, just going to start with this pod. Okay, this is where the crew goes in. Whoops. You can see our nice big Space Ham banner on the wall. We will shift roll in. Take a look at our nice little pod here. The little pilot sits in that, looks out the window. We've got our nice little Space Ham stuck on the actual pod itself. Right, today we're just going to launch this to start with, but we're going to put a little bit of science on it. So utility wise, no, we don't want that. We want the science button here, please. This is the mystery goo container, right? This unit was something one of our engineers came upon while in a dumpster diving. So they use it to, so what does it say? We couldn't reach it or break the canister open, but watching how the goo behaves when subjected to different situations could be very educational, right? So we're gonna chuck one of those on here, like so. Cool, very cool. That's it. That's what we're gonna launch with straight away. Actually, first we want to make sure that we've got the scientist in here, and I'll tell you something very specific why that I learnt when I watched someone else. We're gonna take Jebediah out, and we're gonna put Bob in. Okay. Go back to build. We're going to go launch, okay? It's going to roll it out to the pad for us. Our very horrible looking little pad with not much to it. Yeah. Here we go. I'm just going to load here. So 1 second. All right. So there it is there. There's our little flag up in the background. What do we got? A little bunker over here. And you can see our buildings off in the distance there. And here's a little pod on the deck. It's not going to take off. We know that. we're going to do a couple of things here. We're going to do some science for science, right? So right now we can right click on this pod and we can do what we call a crew report, right? Crew report from Launchpad. You record your crew assessment of the situation. Now we do this because on Kerbal, that's the name of the planet we're on. It's not called Earth. We're on Kerbal. There's different biomes, so we can take reports from different biomes on the planet to earn science, right? So we've done that. We've got a crew report. Let's also check this canister. So we want to observe the mystery goo. It'll open up there. Okay, mystery goo observation from Launchpad. The goo doesn't seem to be doing much right now. We get some science. Let's keep the experiment. Now the good thing, why I took the scientist, right? Why I took Bob. Okay, because scientists can reset experiments. You can see it says down there, reset experiments. If you just had a pilot, you wouldn't be able to reset this goo canister. So it's a good habit to get into, because if we land somewhere, or we're in orbit, or we're in the atmosphere, we can take different experiments at different altitudes, different pressures, all that sort of stuff, different environments, and we can reset this goo canister to take different experimental readings, all right? The last thing we're going to do right now is we're going to do EVA, which is extra vehicle activity. I'm pretty sure that's what it stands for, or something about getting out. And normally you have a jetpack, you can fly around, right? This is our little Bob down here. He's out here, and what we can do is we can click on Bob and we can get an EVA report from Bob, right? EVA report from Launchpad. I don't think a spacesuit was entirely necessary to get out of here, was it, right? But more science that we grab. Okay, we're going to keep that. Then we're going to write, while he's out here, actually, you know what you can do? You can hit spacebar and we can walk around too. All this kind of cool stuff. I don't think we can do another report here, but what we want to do, and I want to show you something very cool. If we right click on Bob, we can go, we'll face this way, and we will, where is it? Aim, remove, no. Where is it? There's somehow we can remove helmet. No, we can't do it. I thought we were able to plant a flag. Maybe we can't do that yet. Maybe we don't have the ability to do that yet. I thought we did. Inventory. I was going to plant a flag for us. Aim, camera. Yeah, okay. I can't yet. Not to worry. If I can't, I can't. If I won't, I won't. I could do it in the sandbox mode, but maybe we don't have the ability to plant a flag yet. Let's go and drop some of this stuff off first, then we'll give it a go. Anyway, so what you do with all those reports we've got, we now click on here. Actually, I want to observe the mystery goo. We've got keep the experiment, collect the data, and then what you do is you store the experiments in here, right? So we store it in here because when we recover the pod, we'll recover all the science with it. I wonder if now we can plant a flag now that we've done that. Lower visor, aim camera, EVA report, remove helmet. No, that's all that does. Remove neck ring, equip neck ring. Equip helmet. Yeah, I don't know. This is a cargo part that can place inside this is a cargo part that can be placed inside of inventories, okay? Yeah, I don't have the ability to plant a flag. Okay, alright, well we just don't plant a flag. That's disappointing. I can't show you guys the planting a flag at the moment, but we'll get there eventually. Well, maybe we just can't do it on our own planet. Okay, so then we go F to climb back up onto the ladder, and we hit the B button, puts us back in our pod. Right, you can see here. We can also do cool things like look around in the pod. Okay, pretty cool if you ask me. And then if we double click on the window, we can kind of look back around this way as well. There we go. Yeah, anyway. You get to hit the C key to change the view. I thought there was a way you could look back at Bob, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway. It's what it is. Let's now get out of that and recover the vessel, because we will have gained some science from all of that, which is what we're after. And to finish that first mission. Right, so here you go. Crew report, EVA report, mystery goo. Next. Right, and then we're gonna get the parts back as well. We finished that that mission. So we bumped our money up massively, which is fantastic, by the way. And ready for next assignment. No XP gained from that. Total reputation plus 6 done. All right, so that's pretty cool. Let's go and see if we've ticked that in the box. Archives completed. Gather signs. Beautiful. Okay, that's my first ever one I've done. That's the first mission I've ever done. I actually hadn't even done one in practice, so there you go. All right, next mission is launch our first vessel. So we'd like to officially start off the space program with a bang, a very controlled bang preferably. Launch your first vessel off the launch pad or the runway to achieve this goal. Okay, we can do that. Let's accept it. We're not going to do escape the atmosphere yet. So let's head back to the vehicle assembly. Back to the vehicle assembly where we've got our little pod here set up. Let's also, actually before we do that, let's go and see if we can unlock some more stuff. We want more stuff, more of the things, please. So we've got 8.9 science banked up. All right, we can get basic rocketry here, which gives us more of this stuff. We won't worry about that yet. Or we've got engineering here, which gives us more stuff. I want to get this thermometer. This thermometer is definitely not a store-bought model. Okay, with various wires stuck to it and everything. Very funny. Warranty void if an engineer admits it's actually a store-bought model. Classic. Okay, so we're going to unlock this research for 5 science. Okay, it leaves us 3.9 in the bank. I don't think we can afford that. That's worth 5 as well. What I want to do is try and work our way down to here, right down to here, basic science, where we can start getting some of these junior science things. We can get batteries for recharging when we get out into orbit and that sort of stuff as well. So all very important things that we're going to need. All right, so we've got a lot of work to do to get to that point. Now let's go back in here and start fitting out our first rocket. So very important thing we're going to need to re-enter or to land is going to be a parachute. We're going to attach that on the roof there, right? I'm going to set this because we want to set the minimum pressure to 75, maximum 0.75, right? And the altitude the safe altitude, we're going to leave it at 1,000, and the spread angle, we'll leave that at 7. Okay, that's all Gucci right there. We'll leave our goo collector on there. We will put our thermometer on. We'll just attach that down there because why not? I don't want to put anything in front of the actual hatch, otherwise our little spaceman can't get out, our little Kerbal can't get out. Right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to strap a rocket to it. Engines, we're just going to strap this flea, right? Because all we want to do is take off. We're actually not trying to leave orbit at the moment. So this is what? This is, if you right click on it, it gives you more information on this. This part cannot be placed in storage. Okay, that's fine. It's a solid fuel with an engine on it. So, right. So once it burns out, it's done. Right. Right click back on that. I can't. What's happened here? Right mouse button, pin less. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to wallop that on there. There we go. Got rid of it. You have to do it on the actual icon. Right, so that's our pretty basic rocket. Now, a couple of things to note when it comes to rocketry, okay? From what I've been learning is we've got this center of mass overlay, right? It shows us our center of mass. So if it was right down the bottom here, the thing, if you don't want it at each end, you basically want the center of mass in the center of mass, okay? Or where around you where the rocket's shooting this thing up, where all the weight's kind of going to be, okay? Then we're going to look at center of thrust overlay, which is like where our thrust is going to come from. And the important thing to note is keeping these things in line with each other all the time. And then the last one is the aerodynamic overlay. Now, from what I've learned, the importance with this aerodynamic overlay is this little blue sphere here that's above, we want to keep below the center of mass. Otherwise, we become top heavy and all that sort of stuff, and it's hard to steer around. Plus, with these solid rocket boosters here, these engines, I think it actually is quite, you can't actually steer them without having some form of aerodynamics. So we put this aerodynamics on here, we come down here, or you can click the X button, right? So if I just had it on 1, it only puts 1 fin on here. We've also on snap mode here, toggle snap, or you can toggle it off. I'm going to leave it on snap just because it gives you good symmetry. right? And you can see here, if I only put one on, it puts our aerodynamic thing off to one side, which is what we don't want. Because remember, I said we want to keep everything in a nice straight line. So if we go symmetry 2, we put 2 of these on, you can see 2 of them now pop up, right? 2 of them now pop up, so when I attach this, we'll have 2 fins. And it puts our center of mass back in the middle, and our aerodynamic splay in the middle here. But to be more stable, I think we're going to go 4 of these, just to give us a little bit extra control. And I want to kind of keep these centered everywhere and get as low as I can. Right, so that's our first little rocket. I'm going to turn these off. Right, that's our first little takeoff rocket we're going to have. How exciting is this? We're going to make sure that we've got Bob back in the seat as well. Bob's in, so that's fantastic. Let's call this little thing skip, okay? Because it's not going to go far, it's just going to skip up and fall down, okay? We'll call it skip, and we'll do a little save here. Now, a couple of things to note over here. This little function, this little thing in the bottom corner, follow my mouse, this little thing in the corner shows us our stages, right? So when we do stages, when we run out of fuel, we want to be able to drop the bottom of this. We don't want to hold onto it. So what we want to do is, because the last stage we want to utilize is our parachute stage for when we have to re-enter. Now, if we try and re-enter the way we do with the rocket, with the engine attached to the bottom still, what's going to happen is it's going to go up into the atmosphere and then come head first straight back down, which is no good because our parachute comes out the top and will crash and burn and die, okay? So what we do is we add this, we'll pull this down to here. Actually, an interesting component I missed was our decoupler. You need a decoupler, right? Which goes on there. So the decoupler between there and there helps us stage. That is not what I want there. Control Z, we'll get rid of that. Oh, damn it. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Back over here. Control Z, just like anything, is undo. Okay, then we'll put that there. Now we're right. So what we do is we want to put that there. I think that's right. I think I've got this right. In fact, let's put all this back over here. I'll rebuild it very quickly just to make sure, because I want to see how it auto puts it in. So if we put our decoupler in, right, puts it there, then we get our engine. I want to make sure I get this right, and if the game does it automatically for me, right, it puts them in separate stages. Okay, give us our fins. Give us our fins, please. Finicus, Maximus, we'll put them as low as we can get. We'll just check our stuff here. That's nice. Okay, that's got that good. Now we will save it again. And okay, so there's our staging sequence, right? So we, the engine, when we run out of fuel, bang, we're going to drop the engine, and then that's it, I think. And then the next stage will be to activate the parachute, which we've got set right, and the parachute should automatically open when it hits the right altitude. I think it's between 1,000 meters or whatever. Let's go to launch anyway. We've got our, I want to make sure that we've got our accepted contract. Did I accept it? Just double check here. Don't want to go up for no reason. Launch our first vessel. Now we're going to do some more science when we're in the air too, to unlock some more science. Okay, so we want to make sure we do that. Let's go back to here, back to vehicle assembly, and we're ready to go with our little skip. The skip, call it Mark 1. Skip Mark 1, because why not? We'll save that, right? And then you can see there's some pre-made ones here, but we've got the Skip Mark 1 here, okay? This thing here, we could probably delete that. Delete that one. Now we've got the Skip Mark 1 here, right? Okay, cool. Cancel. Let's go launch, Ham. All right, so down here, we've got our little rocket. It looks a little bit better than just having the pod on the deck now. We're actually getting into some sort of rocketry shape now, aren't we? One thing I didn't show you is actually on the map. This is Kerbal, okay? This is our planet that we live on, okay? Is this our launch site? That's the Woomerang launch site, the Desert Airfield launch site, and Kerbal Space Center. Okay, this is where we are actually situated. I don't know how far we can zoom in. You can see just a bit of land here. I think what it is the graphical upgrades I've got put in place actually puts a cloud layer over the top. What's this over here? Island artifact. Ooh, island airfield, is it? Okay. Right, so basically this is our planet. Now, if we scroll out here, we've got the Mun. The Mun is, you guessed it, our moon. We've got Minmus out here, the next ring around. Just to give you an idea of how big this actually is, this solar system. Then we've got Eve in here. We've got Moho there. We've got the sun in the middle. Dress out here, right? We've got Jewel. And we've got Elu. These are all places we're going to have to get to eventually, okay? And they're all set on different angles, which is going to make things really hard. Things that I don't even know how to do yet, okay? Now, if you actually click on Jewel... Can I click on Jewel? Maybe I can't. Maybe I can't in this mode. I thought I could. Target Jewel. Don't know how. I can't remember how to do it. But basically, maybe it's because we haven't got it unlocked yet. We can't actually target in and look at it. But you can actually go in, and they've got their own little solar system in each sort of section, okay? So each sort of big area has its own sort of solar system area. Maybe it's better in just science mode or actual... not in career mode because we don't have it unlocked. I don't know. I've never played the career mode, so we're all learning this together. Basically, in the sandboxy mode, you can go out and check these solar systems that they have because there's other planets inside their solar systems. So we just hit the M button to go back here. Right, we want to make sure we've got full thrust up down here, throttles up. This is our altitude, our atmosphere levels. So currently we're in the thickest atmosphere where we get up into space where the thinnest no atmosphere is basically. So that's what that tells us. We've got our Earth ball here, so this shows us the direction that we're heading. We'll get into more of that later. But for now, I don't think we've got SAS mode. Skip Mark 1 has no operational SAS module and no pilots aboard to use it. So we're gonna have to do things manually. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Lift off, blast off. Right, we're going to head to the this easty beastie. I hope we got everything set right. When we run out of fuel down here, we're going to try and coast a little bit. You can see we're going up pretty quick. We're going to try and head out over the water. Actually going up really high. Now I'm going to eject that. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Don't have the ability. Hopefully we're going to be alright. I want to now. I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to hit the spacebar again. Right, I've activated the parachute, so it should automatically come down. Hopefully we start to fall back this way. Right side up. We're going to now do an observation of mystery goo. Accept that. Yeah, we're going to kind of free fall here. This is kind of going to be sucky, but it is what it is. We're going to do a, if I can get it, log the temperature, take that. Once we get, we're going to do a crew report, take that. And now we kind of just wait till we start free falling a bit. I don't know if we can EVA at the moment. I kind of don't want to. We might do the EVA. I'll reset the canister up here as well. Reset that goo canister. We're probably falling a little bit too quick at the moment, but the parachute should start to come out. Now because we got our nice big surface area under here, taking a lot of the aerodynamics, so it's going to be slowing us down, and then shortly you should see our parachute start to come out when it hits that 2000 mark. I'm pretty sure when it hits the 2000 mark. There we go, it's come out. And whoosh, it's fully open. So what we're going to do now is we're going to EVA. Why can't we EVA? Cannot disembark while off the Kerbals surface. Astronaut complex upgrade required. Ah, bugger. Well, we can't do that. Well, anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to wait till we hit down to the water here, right? We're not going to do observe that. We'll wait till we get down to the water. I can fast forward it down here a little bit. So if we hit fast forward button, time warp by 4. Right, we're going to get down in the water. We're going to try and get some more readings because this is going to be classed as a different biome. And landed. Right, now I wonder if we can EVA here just a little bit. Can I just slow down time a little bit here? Now we can EVA, right. So, Bob's out here hanging on for dear life in the water. Can we, we can take the data. Whoa, the waves are coming in hot. Observe that goo canister now. Yeah, okay. Keep the experiment. Collect the data. Do the same here. Take the data from that. Let's store it. Let's do another reading if we can on that. See if that helps. I don't know if I'm sort of learning this as well, by the way. So if you've got any tips, tricks, or hints, let's log the temperature down here. Excellent. Let's also see if we can do another EVA report here. Okay, excellent. And then let's right click back on here and store experiments. Okay, we got 4 experiments in there so far. I'm kind of happy with that. And now let's put Bob back inside and let's recover the vehicle. I think that's all we're going to do for the moment for that. Right, let's see what we've come up with. Potatoes and oh, look at all the science we got. Hey, that's a good amount of science. All right, 1 experience gain, so that's good. Okay, next. Yep, okay, we got all that. And oh, look at our funds have gone right up as well. Next. And excellent. Total reputation 25. Done. Right, let's check over here, make sure we got that. Oh, look at all these now. Hey, that's pretty fun. Archived, completed. Excellent. That's what we want. We want to orbit Kerbal, escape. So these look like this little symbol here looks like they're our own mission. Then we've got other missions available here. Conduct focused observational survey of Kerbal. Conduct focused observational survey of Kerbal. Okay. Right, so what do these give us? Lots more reputation. So these are agent research and development department and that sort of stuff. Okay, let's go out of here and check our research and development. We now have 38 of your finest research and development up our sleeve. Let's get our basic rocketry. We can afford that. Let's get survivability. That's going to give us press mat barometer for a little bit more sciencey stuff. Micro landing strut. Okay, that's cool. Radiator panels, service bays, and more mounted parachutes. So what it'll mean is we can potentially send our rocket up and have more parachutes on board, so we don't actually probably have to eject. And we should be able to, with more parachutes, we'll research that. And we've got 18 left still, so that's good. We need 45 for that. We could get general rocketry's worth 20. That's worth 18 for more stability and aerodynamics, and for radial decouplers and aerodynamic noses. Might just hold on to the science for a little bit to see what we need. But that's sort of a first look in today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, for our astronauts here. Now you can see Bob here, he is leveling up, so that's really good. Okay, courage. Stupidity. I love it. Okay, I love it. I love it. We're gonna have to do some leveling up of some of our pilots as well at some point, because it does enable them to be able to do more things for you to help with flight and stabilization and all that sort of stuff as you get down the track. And we will have missions where we'll have to take multiple people. We'll have landing rovers to land on other planets, built in shuttles, all that sort of stuff. So stay tuned for plenty more of that, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Kerbal Space Program, the adventures of Space Ham. Okay, we'll probably do some live streaming of this because I'm definitely going to need some help, some hints, some tips and tricks. So if you've got them, definitely leave them in the comments section below and come along and say hi in some of the live streams. Stay safe wherever you are. Stay glued to your screen and check the community posts and hit the bell notification to be up to date with when I'm going to be going live and all that sort of fun stuff as well. Stay safe wherever you are. Please consider leaving a like as well and subscribing if you haven't. We're really close to the 1k, and when the 1k hits, we're all going to open up the Discord server where we can hang out a little bit more in the downtime. All right, that's it. I've been Van Ham. Get out of here.